Welcome to the Look Good, Move Well podcast.
What'd you just have for lunch?
I had some rice, some bison, and some sauteed zucchini and mushrooms. Basically 15-minute meal I threw together.
Nice.
Yeah.
15 minutes for one meal?
Yeah. And well, actually it made 2 meals because I had dinner last night. So this is, yeah.
So you eat carbs?
I definitely eat carbs. I am pro carb. I am pro all macros.
All the macros.
I just bring them all. Did you have a little big ass salad down there?
Yeah, I mean, I ate some of my salad, ate some of that those air fryer veggies. Yeah, kind of just we're like doing this podcasting thing. We got a few meetings, so I'm just saw a window, get some nutrition in there.
Mm-hmm.
Feel energized.
Oh yeah.
Oh goodness. And you know, I like this I mean, I like when I like stumble back upon old like food prep tricks. The salad in the container. So it's like if an evenly coated salad with dressing is so much more satisfying than a salad that you like pour dressing on, but like this bite's totally dry and this bite's got, oh gosh. So you make a salad in a container, you put all your raw veggies in, and then you pour the dressing on the side in the corner on the bottom. Mm-hmm. And then you just keep it level so that the salad you can take it to work, you can take it with you. It's not going to get soggy. The salad dressing is just sitting at the bottom. It might be touching like 3 pieces of lettuce, but that's it. It's just in this little corner. It's along the bottom, right? And then when it's time to eat it, you flip the container upside down, and you shake, and it just perfectly dresses the whole salad. And you don't have to like toss it, and like you're not going to like spill salad on the table, and it gets evenly coated, and it's just delicious. So
that's great.
Yeah, it's been my little hack that I've remembered from a while back.
It's a good one. I was really into the YouTube video that we're about to put out, which by the time this podcast comes out, you'll be able to go see it on Marcus Philly YouTube. It's the 30-minute meal prep, easy meal prep start to finish. But in that video, I liked how you showed people how to make a salad dressing, because that's so true. Most store-bought salad dressings are full of sugar and crap, and you can't control the macros that well, but it's so easy to make your own.
It is super easy to make your own. You can still go watch the YouTube, but I'll spill the beans here. Salad dressing 101. Get a jar or some type of like vessel that you can close the lid on that's a tight seal, and you just put in like about a tablespoon of mustard at the bottom, then put in 1 part olive oil, and then 1 part vinegar, salt and pepper, and shake it vigorously, and it'll be like this perfect vinaigrette that will last in your fridge for weeks and not go bad. I mean, if you're having a couple salads a week, it'll be gone by the time, it would even get close to being bad. But it's the way to go. And you don't need a blender. You don't need to do anything fancy. You just put it in a jar and shake that. It's pretty good.
Genius.
Yeah, it's great. And honestly, like, I used to spend all this time looking at the ingredient labels on the salad dressings in the store,
trying to find
and I'm
one.
like, oh, this one's got sugar, this one's got sugar, this one doesn't have sugar. Oh, but it's soybean oil.
Yeah.
Like that's garbage, So, hey, this is simple stuff. Make it tasty as hell and make it easy and avoid the soggy salad blues. All right. So yeah, that was a plug to go to the YouTube channel, Marcus Philly, and check out some of our Sundays with Philly. And we got some episodes on there that are training and nutrition related. And we even got some little shorter films coming out on Thursdays, training tips and tricks. So lots of content coming to YouTube. If you're a podcast listener, but you also like to cruise YouTube a little bit, go check us out.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So where are we going to take today's conversation, Satya?
Well, somewhat related. The theme for today is the Look Good, Move Well movement. And the way that we got into this conversation initially is that just to peel back a couple layers, we've been having a lot of conversations around the future of functional bodybuilding, around what we're working on, planning programs, developments, how it's all going to come together over the next quarter, over the next year. And as part of that process, wearing my marketing hat, I have really been thinking a lot about the difference between how you get people excited about a program versus how you get people excited about the whole thing, the training, the nutrition, the lifestyle, the recovery, and really all those components belong in functional bodybuilding. And so it really crystallized in my mind that I am really motivated to spread the word about the Look Good, Move Well movement, less than a particular program that we're doing or a particular ebook that we have.
Yeah.
So that was what I thought we could dive into today.
Yeah, I've been calling it. Side note, you said marketing, wearing your marketing hat. I've never seen you wear a hat. So that hat, I know you rocked a turban a lot for a period of time. But I didn't know you that part of your life. So whenever you want to drop a hat into, bring a hat to the.
You brought one.
I did. Most of you were all like, "Whoa, I have not seen you wear a hat." I did a beanie for a while, but haven't busted.
I wear a beanie.
Yeah, maybe I've seen. Well, I've seen you wore the FBB.
Yeah, the FBB beanie.
But yeah, I call it becoming the functional bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Becoming. If you're going to identify with something, it's often, especially within fitness, it's more than just, I do those workouts. Like, let's take CrossFitters for example. It's a great group of people to discuss. The diehards, right? It's like they don't just do 21-15-9. They wear a certain type of clothes.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
They talk about their workouts. They do the paleo diet. They do the different they wore the nanos for when Reebok.
They buy all the new shoes that come
out. They get all
out.
the new Nike Metcons. Now they get these, and now they're probably all wearing Noble shoes, and they follow 20 CrossFit Games athletes, and then they use the language, and
they move to Cookeville.
They move to Cookeville, right? You're not in Tennessee? Are you really a CrossFitter? Come on. And does that help them? I believe it does. Like when you wear the full identity of a thing, then it starts to support the consistency of that behavior or that thing in your life. And I think that we have a similar mission with functional bodybuilding. Is like, we're not just trying to get people to do the programs, which is a very big part of it, but it's like, I want you to become a functional bodybuilder. Live the look good, move well lifestyle. Be part of this movement. And if you're part of the movement, that means you've done 20 training cycles and you're still racking them up. It means you're looking at your true coach and you're like, yeah, I got 500 completed workouts. Oh, I'm coming up on 600. Ooh, I did those programs, but I also did the nutrition challenge, and oh yeah, I did this thing, and I write look good, move well on my, that's my tagline. I hashtag functional bodybuilding in my posts. I got the FBB shirt.
Yeah.
I got the blue sweatband, and I only wear one at a time because
that's right.
I'm not, a maniac who wears two sweatbands.
Well, no, because you wear your Whoop on the other.
That's right. You wear your Whoop on the other, right? And you drink your Element, and you got your Vivos. Sati, you just got your Vivos.
I got my Vivos.
Molly's got her Vivos.
Yeah. I think Bree's ordering a pair. Yeah.
Megan's asking me, when am I getting my next pair of Vivos? My kids are wearing Vivos, right? Nate's not yet.
Nate.
Coming soon.
Yeah. Any day now.
So yeah, what does it mean to be? So it's not just about accumulating stuff.
Right.
It's not just about wearables and drinking your coffee and things like that. It's more of, and that's what we're talking about. What is it? What is the look good, move well lifestyle? What is this movement about, right? And how is it not just about training, but then also what is the training about? What is the training about, right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Line it in.
Well, I wanted to name a few more things while we're adding to the mix of what's in the identifying features of someone who's in the Look Good, Move Well movement. And I can come up with a few that are just popping into my mind as I recall my own transition from someone who was more in the CrossFit world into the functional bodybuilding universe.
Oh, okay.
And there are certain things that happen, and I've watched these happen with other people too, but they come in and the first thing you do is you start making the lemon salt water cocktail every morning. You don't put half and half in your coffee, you put heavy cream if you go for a creamy thing. Or, maybe you can do the Laird's, superfood. Yeah.
Creamer.
Yeah, that's an option. You wear blue blockers at night.
Mm-hmm.
You have honest conversations in all your relationships. You cook your own food and you bring it in glass containers everywhere.
Glass containers.
Yeah, glass containers. But it's funny, but
You have a Carter fellow.
you have a
everywhere
fellow
mug.
Carter mug. You do Chemex. You would
Yeah.
never do.
You grind your own beans.
You grind your own
do
beans.
Not, you do not buy pre-ground coffee beans.
Oh no.
No.
But it's, it's all funny and silly. But the things that we can tease out, though, are really some reasons why we do those things and what those things signify as what is important to us and what has become important to us over time, that I know many people in the functional bodybuilding world feel unified by.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, aside from maybe... Well, actually, I don't know. There's probably some way to connect back everything that we've discussed to a common theme, which is these behaviors or these values that we have have over the years proven to support being more consistent in in our health and fitness pursuits. You're like, oh, that seems a bit of a stretch. How is, a Carter Everywhere mug making your health and fitness pursuits more consistent?
Right.
But that's kind of like the periphery of this thing, where it's like we have things that we identify with that remind us when I pick it up, like, oh yeah, I'm part of this tribe, and we all do this thing, we where it's like we get closer to the middle, it's like, yeah, if you're in the tribe or you're part of the thing, like you go to bed and you wake up at the same time every day, like, and you talk about that. It's like, oh yeah, my sleep consistency is on point right now. Someone's like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I woke up at the same time for the last 30 days and I'm feeling awesome. Why'd you do that? Well, once I started waking up at the same time every day, then I got tired at the same time every day, and it helped me to fall asleep better. Now my energy's a lot better, and now I'm digesting food better, and I'm craving less sugar. And you're like, whoa, tell me about the sleep consistency thing. You're like, I just told you, just go to bed, wake up, same time, every day, always. So yeah, all of these pieces just really are connected by the sort of proven efficacy of them to keep us on track.
Yeah.
And they could be just simple daily habits. They could be like mantras that you carry into every, training session. Like you said, it could just be a value that you carry into relationships. Coaching enough people over the years and seeing that physical progress in the gym can be and is very often limited by a particular relationship in that person's life that isn't what they want it to be, makes us say, okay, well, it's important to bring honesty and transparency and vulnerability to every relationship that we have. If we don't, then guess what? You're not going to get your PR in the back squat that you really care about. You're not going to change your body composition because you're holding on to this thing over here in your relationship life that's not allowing you to make the decisions and the choices consistently that you want.
Yeah. And I think it's important to highlight that all of these areas of training, nutrition, sleep, lifestyle, recovery, are all connected to help you as a human have a better experience of your life. And so it's much less about, we're a culture of going ham on every workout, and much more about how can we make this work for you in a way that you can do it for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And whether you're going ham or you on every workout, or you just simply believe that it's like, it's all about the workout, in either case, it's a bit misguided. There's just so many other important factors that cannot be excluded from the conversation if you really are there to try and make meaningful progress and maintain it and be consistent with it for a long time. It's like, I really want to change my body, so I'm just going to go ham on my workouts. I'm going to do everything I can on my workouts. Well, at best, that's 2 hours of your day. So 22 hours of your day is spent doing other things, and which is heavily, heavily impacted by nutritional choices, relationships, other lifestyle factors, feeling of belonging, feeling of purpose. If you're high for 2 hours and then the other 22 hours you're low and you're depressed and you don't feel like you have a place in the world that has meaning, you're not going to make great choices. Like, I find personally, when I put more energy into the gym at this stage of my life, when I really put more energy into the gym and I'm pushing my workouts, it drains me. There's a threshold. And if I go beyond that, it drains me sufficiently and significantly where the other hours of my day, I have this like low-grade tiredness or low-grade depression. And it starts to influence how I see myself in the world. Am I important? Is what I'm doing important? Does this even matter? And once it's not like I'm in a deep, dark depression. It's just a subtle shift. And that subtle shift has a greater negative impact on my body and how I feel over the course of weeks than how awesome my 90-minute workout was or my 2-hour workout was. And it's usually because I have a lot of awareness over the years of doing this, because I've lived and breathed this look good, move well lifestyle long enough, I can identify that and be like, I need to tone it down a little bit in the gym. I need to tone it down in the gym because my other 22 and a half hours of the day aren't as optimal as they could be. And that is where I personally make the most gains in life, is when I crush it in those other areas. At least now I'm talking about present day. Mm-hmm. I'm not competing to win,
right.
Sport. I'm competing to win plenty of things right now.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
I just think that is such a trap people can fall into, because they truly believe that like, I'm gonna go to the gym, and the training is gonna, if I put more energy towards it, that's what's gonna make all my stuff better. And it has the ability to do that. If you go and start to move your body and you move your blood and you start to, do some things from a physical movement standpoint, that has the potential to make the other 23 hours of your day more focused, more connected to people. You feel more purpose. You're feeling more optimistic in life. You see your life through the lens of love instead of anger and hate. You want to make better food choices. You want to do better, and you do better. And as a result, everything starts to improve in your life and you're feeling great. You push it just a bit more in the gym. I want to do a little bit more. Oh man, this paid off. I'm going to do some more. I'm going to lift some more. I'm going to train another day. I'm going to do a little extra. It's like there's this like positive correlation, and then suddenly, you put in more energy, and the other hours of your day start to drop. And there's that like that inflection point where it just like, now that's where you're doing too much. You're pushing it too much in this area, and it's impacting the other parts of your life where you need to be bringing positive focus, energy, and behaviors to really feel optimal. And this is what the movement's about. It's about talking about this stuff. It's about being honest with it. We got hit with a feedback recently. I think this is the second time I'm bringing this up in 2 podcasts, Matt. Thanks, Matt. Now, Matt, I appreciate you if you're listening. But it was something like, hey, I'm having a hard time getting this work done in the time allotted, and then it was like, are you guys paying attention to how long some of these workouts can take? Okay, we addressed that on the last podcast, but now it's like, and gosh, Marcus's message seems to be changing. Used to be less is more, train 60 minutes a day, 4 days a week, do this, Now it seems like he's training more. It seems like he's doing more cardio. It's like he's just adding more, and more is better. And the reality is that is not the driving message behind what I'm doing. I'm on the journey with you all. I'm exploring this balance of what makes me feel good, what's too much, what's not enough. Trial, experiment, be aware, reflect. How's my nutrition? How's my relationships? Am I getting good sleep? No, those things are suffering. I'm feeling a little down. Oh my gosh, maybe my training got a little bit carried away. Okay, bring it back. Like it's this constant give and take, push and pull. And what I'm trying to avoid is the super, super lows. And in order to avoid the super, super lows, I got to be cognizant of my desire to hit the super highs. And that's not a conversation people are having in fitness. They're just like, let's go, let's hit the super high, let's drop a bunch of weight, let's get the PRs. I'm like, yeah, but to get those things, you're going to sacrifice something along the way probably. Something's going to get out of balance. And on the other side of that might be a super, super low. And that might not be worth it to you. It might be worth it to you, but very many people, it's not worth it to them. So I see you shaking your head and you're like, let me say something, dude. So I'm going to stop.
Okay. Well, I think that this is so key because we've talked before about the all or nothing mentality, and people get so invested in the thing. And so it's like, I'm going to hit the workout and I'm going to get the thing. And it's the same thing with nutrition. And people are like, I'm going to do the 30-day shred and I'm going to go keto. And it's the all or nothing where when that doesn't work out, when you hit the obstacles that are inevitably going to come up within that balance that you're talking about, where when you go too hard on one thing, it pulls away from another and it's really hard to sustain. And I don't often hear people talk about, you know what I'm going to do with my nutrition? I'm going to make a really slow change that I can keep for the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years.
Right.
I'm going to completely change my mindset and I'm going to cook my own food and try to do that as much as possible. I never hear anyone talk about that. It's always like, I'm going to do the get shredded template. Yeah.
It's, and we've talked about it before. There's value in that at certain time points for people.
Yes.
Do something, put in a little bit more energy and effort than might be sustainable for the long haul.
Yep.
But that gives you a little bit of that positive reinforcement.
Yeah, get your win.
Get your win. Go get your win. You talk about that like a lot. Let's get an early win to keep you in the game. Mm-hmm. And so we play that. We flirt with that line. We've had the 30-day challenges.
Yeah.
We're doing one right now.
Yeah.
We've done nutrition challenges.
Yeah.
We call it like, do you want to do the body recomp, or do you want to do the fat loss challenge?
Yeah.
Right. It's a challenge. It's a challenge because it's going to ask more of you. It's also a challenge because you're going to do something, and even if you're successful, there's going to be a challenge on the other end of it. Because you're going to be like, man, that was awesome. And, I can't do this forever. Mm-hmm. Right? That was probably the biggest challenge for me in every really exceptional goal that I reached was, dude, I got super shredded. I can't hold on to this. It's too hard. Oh my God, I'm losing it. Oh, I'm back to not being as shredded as I just was. And that doesn't feel as good. Mm-hmm. Oh, that sucks, And then there's like the come down afterwards. This is like CrossFit Games. I'm the fittest dude around. I mean, not as fit as those 11 people, but I'm pretty fit. And then a month later, I'm like, gosh, I'm the least fit person in this room. Like, everything hurts. I don't even want to work out. I'm like I'm in that trough, afterwards. I'm in the whitewash, and I'm just getting pounded by the next wave right now.
Yeah. Well, it's really important to understand the relationship between those things, though, because we have the cardio challenge and we've done the Look Good, Move Well challenge for nutrition, but there's always the underlying aspect that supports that, which is this isn't going to just leave you hanging at the end of the 30 days.
Right.
It's like the 30-day challenge is not about doing some extreme aerobic activity that's not sustainable. It's about finding what feels sustainable for you, even if that's a 30-minute walk every day, and just creating a container with the community to get involved and have some fun and some other support for just moving more in your day.
Totally. And it's like you said, it's not about like, we're not going to leave you hanging at the end of it. It's like, that's why you find community to catch you when when you're in those down periods. And those down periods could be because you have not been super consistent, or it could be because you've been overly consistent and pushing yourself too hard, and you kind of push yourself to the point of breaking. And now you're like, oh, I'm down and out because I hurt myself because I did too much training and I didn't sleep enough. And hey, we're here for you. Let's get you back on track. Let's do this. Let's do that. Like, we're all going to be here next year. We're all going to be here 3 years and 10 years, and that's the goal. So what are the lessons, and what are the behaviors, and what are the, let's just call it the buckets of conversation and topics that should be part of that? And you're like we started, it's like, yeah, training's a part of that. Nutrition's a part of that. Recovery is a part of that. Lifestyle is a part of that, and we're kind of using those 4 buckets, but inside those buckets, like in terms of like life, that's purpose. What are you doing? Are you excited about your work? Do you dread your work? Do you go home to people that you really love and you're excited about being around, or do you go home to people that don't support you and don't value you and you don't feel positively about? And recovery, it's like, okay, we talk about mobility, we talk about stretching, we talk about properly warming your body up. We'll also talk about how do we use things like sauna and sleep and to optimize how you recover. Nutrition is not just about the macros. It's about, how do I actually go shopping? What happens when I, eat some Reese's peanut butter cups and start to feel guilty? What happens when I undereat for too long and then I binge and I feel shame? And it's about how many calories should you eat in a day, and what is a macronutrient, and what's the science behind that, and what supplements work, right? And
chewing slowly,
right? So we're identifying these buckets that will have the container for aspects of the health and fitness journey, the Look Good, Move Well lifestyle that can truly support you, and you'll need to address. You will need to address and acknowledge each one of these buckets if you want to have long-term success. Because if you put all your eggs into any one bucket, then you will at some point stumble and not have this security net to catch you, essentially.
Yeah, the stability that can really support you.
Yes.
I want to look a little bit deeper at the relationships bucket, because we've alluded to it a little earlier in this podcast, and I know that we have touched on it in a number of different places within functional bodybuilding programs and on our Instagram feed. We pull out a lot of content that you put into some of the Sunday training notes in Persist, and that have been an Awaken training series that hint at these aspects where if you're struggling with your training and you want to make a change, or you're motivated to really work on something, at some point those relationships that are in your life are going to come into play? And I know this is something you also talk a lot about with your individual clients. And obviously we're not therapists here, but could you talk a little bit about how we as an organization or our individual coaches approach the relationship bucket of people's lives?
Yeah. Well, we're not therapists, but we acknowledge and honor the fact that just our relationships to ourself and to others are massively impactful in how people experience this life. So that acknowledgement has come from, for me personally, it's come from over a decade, 2 decades of, engaging in personal therapy to improve my relationship to myself and then improve my relationship to the people that are closest to me, and seeing the value of that over the course of my life. And also being able to look back at when my life felt the most positive and I was moving in the best direction and I was accomplishing the most. What was I surrounded with? I was surrounded by great relationships, which meant people that understood me for what I wanted and what I was doing and never judged that and just gave me space to be the weird fitness guy who ate, food out of containers that were glass and, preferred not to go and drink and stay out late. And I could understand them and I could see them for who they were. And I just felt like also the sense of purpose in myself, like I'm doing something that matters. So it comes from personal experience, but then it comes also from everybody in the company. You have your own personal experience with that, but being able to see and kind of push the other people in the company that have come here to ultimately see it for themselves as well. And then we see it in how we approach our client relationships, our personal client relationships. And when we push our clients to evaluate that, and then that becomes the recipe for them having success in their PRs and their, weight loss journeys, because they address this relationship aspect of the health and fitness bucket. It's just reinforcing that it is important not just to me, but it's important to everybody. And how does it end up showing up in the deliverable of functional bodybuilding as a service? It's just something that we're holding here as a company that shows up in how we respond to Facebook group messages, how I respond to DMs. This morning I came in hot because there was a DM exchange that just felt shitty to me from a follower. He may not be a member of Persist, but it just felt shitty. And I responded shitty. And then I slowed down and I was like, you know what? What happened here? Like, we're both people. I felt misunderstood. Turns out he didn't feel like he was being understood, and therefore felt disappointed by me. I felt disappointed by him, and we hashed that out. And ultimately we walked away being like, yeah, I'm going to do better. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to do better. No hard feelings here. Like, thanks for listening. And my day got immediately better once that exchange had been concluded. Had I left it the way it started, it would have been a rough day. And I might have come into my training session and who knows, lost focus, tweaked something, got an injury, not sure, So it's how we, I think, as a company hold that concept and how we approach conversations. And then of course there's like how we ask questions of our clients, how we put out messaging in our Sunday work-in lessons, shows up in editorial content, shows up here on the podcast.
Yep.
And for what may come in the future, like who knows what we may offer in the future when FBB Life is a living, breathing, part of this service that we offer, of this brand. Like, who knows? Like, maybe Megs comes in and is part of our team in a way where we have a professional that can offer a level of service and a level of education to our customer base that adds value in that bucket.
Yeah, and shout out to Dr. Megan Caden, Marcus's
Yeah,
wife.
That's who Megs is.
That's who Megs
if y'all
is.
haven't been listening for very long.
She has a wonderful influence behind the scenes on functional bodybuilding.
She sure does. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's just really powerful to, acknowledge that relationships have a place in fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, as a piece of one's overall well-being. And in whatever way we create a container for that, I feel like that has really made an impact. And even within how the business operates behind the scenes, I think most of us have definitely cried in meetings and
Right.
had tough interpersonal conversations and hashed things out. But it's all been widely accepted as part of the culture that relationships matter.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I guess we started out with just talking about what is the Look Good, Move Well movement about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I think, in summary, after we've discussed this stuff today, it's about making it clear to everybody that wants to be part of this, that is paying attention. If you came to us looking for support in reaching your health and fitness goals, that's what we're aligned here to do. We want to do that. And we're not naive to think that we can do that with this great exercise program.
Yeah.
Alone.
Yep.
It's part of it. We value it a lot. I certainly value it a lot. And I love it. It might be the thing that I put most of my energy towards in the business. And that there's several other buckets that are incredibly and increasingly important in this modern day and age where life isn't set up for most people to support healthy relationships, to support healthy nutrition habits, to support healthy recovery habits, and to support healthy movement habits. Those four things, modern life and how people are motivated by billion-dollar marketing systems and culture, is set up to make you sedentary, to eat bad food, to not prioritize recovery or sleep or things like that, and to not put you into very supportive communal environments where you would develop great relationships to others and you would feel a sense of purpose and importance in yourself. So if that's what we're living in every day, then we have to be a company that actively shares and educates and brings a different approach and awareness to our customers and to the world. I think that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. And one thing I want to add to that is that we are completely accepting of wherever people are. And you don't have to wear the sweatband on one hand and you don't have to know anything about training or know how to eat anything out of a glass container or put anything in one. It's just, if this speaks to you, then that's all that matters as a starting place.
Yeah. And I believe the reason we can all be so accepting is because none of us, myself included, started doing any of that stuff. I started doing none of it. And in the search for what would be the recipe to being consistent and feeling good about this every day, just accumulated a lot of habits and behaviors and things that were, that I consider values. And if I can teach you one, awesome. If I can teach you 20 of them over the course of the next 20 years, wonderful. Like, if you're listening and if you're open, that's it. That's all that matters to us, You don't have to have any of these traits when you show up.
Yeah. Well, I want to give a little plug as a call to action for our email list because, we put out some really great free content there every week, twice a week. And it just speaks a lot to a number of these things. And over time, you start to absorb little nuggets, and it's all created there to help you. So you can sign up for that at functional-bodybuilding.com/free.
Sweet. Okay. And to close it out, any last words? What's a macro that's on your mind right now?
Fat.
I'm going to go cook up a little fat and go eat some fat.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Have a good day, everybody.
See ya.